Fancy seeing you here. I'm your host, Allie Ray, a serial entrepreneur and mom who loves building brands and raising babies. This is a podcast about being on brand and in season in every facet of your life. Each week, we dive into topics around business and brand development while sprinkling some hard-earned life lessons in there too. So if you love a good brand and a good breakdown, buckle up and come along with me as I sort of seamlessly switch between major life roles in an attempt to fulfill all the life dreams of a Type A Enneagram 3 millennial small business owner who wants to help other entrepreneurs and raise good humans. This is the Allie Ray Haney Show. Welcome back to another episode of the Allie Ray Haney Show. Today, I'm going to be diving into another small business's brands analysis. This is not an analysis that I conducted for payment from the actual business owner, but this is an analysis from what I see outside looking into a business that I really admire and a business that I'm actually also a full-paying client of. So you might have seen the business Created Colorful on my blog as well as on the Branding 5 at 5 series that I used to do on Instagram. And the reason that I keep coming back to them is because they really have impacted my life for the positive. First, I'm going to go into my experience with the company as a full-paying client, and then I'm going to kind of dissect the business in terms of parts about their brand and their marketing that I absolutely love, that I think other small business owners can learn from and apply to their own businesses. So first, let me tell you about the experience that I have had with Created Colorful. And if this sounds familiar, you're either a longtime listener of the podcast, and by long time, I mean since the launch in January, just 7 months ago. But I actually have ads for Created Colorful on my podcast because I am part of their affiliate program. So I truly believe in what they're doing. Otherwise, I would not promote them. And they, like I said, they've had such a positive impact on my own life that I want to continue to push their mission along and spread that to other people who might need it. So let me first tell you what Created Colorful is. Created Colorful is a virtual color analysis business. And what that means is they help you identify your ideal color palette that makes you feel the most you, that the colors that you can wear, that you can use in your makeup, in your glasses, in your hair color to bring out your natural features and the beauty within those natural features. So a little backstory about me. If you don't already know, I do have 3 kids, and I had all of those 3 kids within a span of 4 years between 2018 and 2022. And so after that journey of bringing 3 beautiful people into the world, I was struggling a little bit figuring out who I am as a mom. I think a lot of us probably feel this, so this story is not unique, but after the 3rd child, we had, during that delivery, it was a pretty traumatic delivery, and I touched on that in one of my previous episodes. But after that traumatic delivery, I had a bit of postpartum depression and anxiety, and I was not feeling myself. I wasn't enjoying motherhood quite like I did after the first 2 kids. And it had absolutely nothing to do with the beautiful baby that I was blessed with, but it had everything to do with the hormones and self-image issues that I had. So I had the finale baby in August of 2022. And around my birthday, which was in January, it is in January, I was like, I need to rediscover myself. I need to jumpstart this process of getting back to the old me again. And so the way that I did that was for my birthday, I asked for a few different things from special women in my life. And I first asked for makeup from my mom. She bought me some brand new makeup that I had asked another fellow mother and entrepreneur to give me recommendations because she is an incredible makeup artist based out of Williamsburg, Virginia now. Shout out to Lissa of Evergreen Beauty. She helped me out to figure out what in the world I needed to look like a human again. And then from my mother-in-law, I asked for a color analysis from Created Colorful because I had tried therapy and that didn't really work. And I had tried a couple of other things and, just kind of ignoring it and hoping it would go away. But I made this pact with myself that I was going to do 2 of 3 things every day for a few months. And those 3 things were I was either going to get fully dressed, like not leggings and a t-shirt, like is, my usual maternity leave attire. So I was going to get fully dressed. I was going to do my makeup, like full face makeup, or I was going to do my hair. And I made a promise to myself that I had to do at least 2 out of those 3 things. And usually if I got 2 done, I ended up doing the 3rd. So even just changing my appearance or taking a little bit more time to pour into my appearance, it really helped me. So once I asked for the Created Colorful virtual analysis from my mother-in-law, I had no idea really what to expect. My sister-in-law had actually just gone through a color analysis, but she did an in-person color analysis where they draped the different swatches of clothing over her and was able to do it in real time in person. So I didn't really know what to expect in terms of the virtual color analysis. It was very similar, that we still did the drapes of different colors, but they didn't send me anything. I used what I had in my own closet, but I ended up having pretty much all of the colors aside from maybe 1 or 2 that I stole either from my husband's closet or my daughter's closet. If you go on my blog, you can actually see a picture of me with a pair of toddler pants draped over my shoulders trying to get the color shot to send off for color analysis. But it was very clear that Lindsey had put a lot of thought into the process of how to make it as smooth as possible for those virtual color clients, because she sent me a very specific list of all the colors that she needed initially. And then in that same email, there was a video that accompanied it, the list of colors that said exactly how to take the photos, which angle to take the photos, how to wear your hair during the photos, how to find the best light for the photos. It was very specific and very helpful to be able to get the accurate results for the color analysis. So I submitted the first round of photos, and I don't remember exactly how long it was between the first submission and when I got a response back. I want to say it was probably 2 or 3 weeks. And then that is when I got the response back that said, okay, based off of this initial color analysis, we want to see you in a few more colors to make sure we got, our findings are correct. So they gave me a second list of colors. I did a second list of photos to send back into them. And then it was, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks. I'll have to go back because I did this actually over a year ago now. So after that, they sent me my color palette, but not only did they send me my color palette, they sent me an entire list of everything that you could need in order to make this experience the best possible. So they sent me the ideal color palette. They sent me my knockout colors, which are my top 5 colors that look great on me. They sent me makeup recommendations based off of my color palette, recommendations when it comes to coloring your hair, if you want to color your hair. Funny enough, a little side note is that apparently my God-given natural hair color, which I hadn't really seen in almost 7 or 8 years, is the color that brings out the most natural beauty in me. So just want to put that out there, that you don't always have to color your hair, get your nails done in order to bring out the most natural beauty. But that's an aside. Lindsey and her team, throughout the series of emails that we received throughout the process, they made it very clear about this whole process isn't about making the client more beautiful. This process is about enhancing the client's natural beauty that he or she already has. And even when I received my final email, this email with all of this information in it, they gave me the sweetest, most individualized compliments. They specifically mentioned my eye color. They specifically mentioned the way that my hair complements my eyes, all of these things, like the way that it was individualized made for an incredible client experience. They gave capsule wardrobe suggestions. There is access to a Facebook group with other women and men who have done their color analysis through Created Colorful. They had a link to an Amazon storefront with even more wardrobe selections and access to a blog that offered seasonal wardrobe selections. So I'm getting ahead of myself here, but every season she sends out emails that have links to things for, bathing suits for the summer, winter jackets for the winter, so on and so forth. So she keeps it up seasonally so that you don't really even have to do the work, because she sorts everything not only by season, but by specific color palette within each season. So for example, I am a soft autumn, but there's also a warm autumn. So all you have to do is go on her blog, go on her Pinterest page, go on her Amazon storefront, and you can pull up specifically your color palette to be able to explore all of the options and not even have to think about it. All you have to do is find something that's like your style. You don't have to look to see if they have the color that you need in order to look your best and bring out your natural beauty. So I thought that was really, really cool. Don't know where to start with email marketing? Not tech savvy, but still want pretty emails for your subscribers? Then Flowdesk is your answer. One of my favorite parts about Flowdesk is that it's really beautiful for both the business owner and the client. The client sees well-designed, eye-catching emails that actually makes them look forward to you popping into their inbox. But also on the back end, it's really easy to create funnels and segment customers. This was what I was most intimidated about when first starting an email list, and Flowdesk took care of all of that. If you'd like 50% off your first year's subscription to Flowdesk, simply go to allierayhaney.com/Flowdesk to sign up and get your email list started today. Okay, let's dive into a few things that Lindsey over at Created Colorful does amazing at. So this is specifically for you service providers. I want you all to listen up because this one's specifically for you. And when I say service-based, I mean largely that there is a direct exchange in time for money. There's FaceTime between the provider and the client. Of course, in Lindsey's case, this FaceTime is virtual, but it still is exchanging the time that it takes to do the consultation for the money or the cost of the consultation. So first, a color consultation sounds like a simple thing. It's a service, it's service-based, and it's very easily a one and done type of service, which is a challenge that a lot of us service providers face. But Lindsey's taken it so many steps further based off of her ideal client's needs. She's done a magnificent job of pinpointing the pain points that we feel, and she's fixing them, giving us a lot of ease throughout the process. So let's take a step back and look at Lindsey's ideal client. Lindsey's ideal client is most likely a female, probably either a high-achieving professional who wants to look her best on a daily basis, but may not have time to shop and curate a perfectly coordinated look. Or her ideal client could be the mom who's wanting to treat herself by making herself feel human again after going through a major identity shift when she had kids, and she almost certainly doesn't have time to shop and curate the perfectly coordinated look. I fall into both of those categories, so I do feel like I am equipped to speak on behalf of her ideal client. But this is where the done-for-you model comes in that Lindsey has created. So it's a pretty simple model, but it works because she's solving such a major need for her ideal clients. I've already touched on some of these, but I'm going to try and go into a little bit more detail of each one. So within that final email that I received from Lindsey that had my color analysis results, she gave me a link to an Amazon storefront. And like I mentioned earlier, the Amazon storefront allows clients the ease of access to the items that are already in their color palette. While the commitment is in the startup phase in terms of time for Lindsey to curate that Amazon storefront, this is otherwise a form of passive income because she puts the links inside the delivery emails and sets and forgets them, other than, of course, adding to the storefront as new items come available on Amazon. She has the option, of course, to update these how she sees fit based off of like season or new releases. But really, she's capitalizing on the passivity that an Amazon storefront offers while serving her clients well in what feels like a personalized way. This Amazon storefront is just the starting point for her incredible recurring revenue, though. The second one is the seasonal blog posts that she has. This one I love. Each season she pops into my inbox, my email inbox, because of course she has my email from me purchasing the virtual color analysis. So she pops into my email inbox to give me a capsule wardrobe for each time the weather changes. So she's not only supporting me throughout this transition of understanding which colors look best on me, she's now continuing to support me through each season afterward when I may hit a stumbling block. Now I'm no longer a one-time client. I could potentially be a 4-time per year client because she's still getting the recurring revenue from those affiliate codes. The key feature here is that she's solving a problem for me. She's doing my shopping for me. She's allowing me to see the possibilities that maybe I wouldn't have seen on my own, and she's still getting revenue from it. This one, the next way that she has the passive income or creates recurring revenue from a one-time client is also on her blog. She has specialty blog posts, so why stop at seasonal capsule wardrobes? She doesn't stop at seasonal capsule wardrobes. She has the specialty blog posts about other aspects of fashion and style, including nail polish, accessories, bathing suits, eyewear, pretty much anything you can think of. And you guessed it, they're categorized by color palette, so I can go directly to soft autumn and find exactly what I need that's going to look good on me. In fact, I actually just did this for a summer bathing suit selection as soon as she sent out that bathing suit blog post email, because I was getting ready for a beach trip and needed a new bathing suit and wanted to make sure I looked best in it while I was at the beach. So her model is modeling. And the last way that she does this passive income is through Pinterest inspiration boards. Each of her blog posts has an accompanying graphic, and she cross-posts those graphics onto a Pinterest board that's organized by color palette. She's then able to link these graphics with the affiliate codes that correspond with the articles of clothing that they contain. And this is genius because it is not only, again, making the buying experience easy for me, it's also appealing to new clients on Pinterest who can stumble upon her Pinterest page and then become the one-time client for the color analysis or a recurring client because she's done all the work for them already. This is where most of us service providers stumble. Like I mentioned earlier, a color analysis would typically be a one and done type of interaction, right? Once my colors are done, that transaction is complete and I don't need it anymore. That makes things really hard for the service provider because they are constantly having to find new clients and can't sell to those that already know, like, and trust them because they've already completed the service offering. But Lindsey found a way to be useful even after that color consult is complete, which is by creating those Pinterest boards, Amazon storefronts, acquiring affiliate links for certain other companies, all of those different things. And then she sorts them by color palette, so she even takes it a step further and makes it easy for me to say, this is what I want, this is what I need. And so she's doing literally everything for you and making it as easy as possible to say yes, which is absolutely genius. Okay, the next thing I want to touch on is her meticulously curated client experience. Remember those emails I told you about with all of those very specific instructions, like which colors to drape over my shoulders, how to find the best light, and how she included even a whole video tutorial on how to do all of those things? Those very specific kind compliments that I received in my final results email, all of those things, those small gestures throughout the process, they added up to make a really great overall client experience. She perfected this experience to be able to then hand off to team members. So now she has a team of over 10 consultants who can continue to make individuals embrace their most natural beauty. She created those standard operating procedures so that she could then scale the business. To add another layer onto that, she then started an affiliate program so that people like me, whose lives have been changed by her service, can shout their praises from the rooftops. If you're unfamiliar with what an affiliate program is, I'm going to give you like a quick synopsis. It's an incentive, usually monetary, to help a company sell their service or product. So every time someone purchases a virtual color analysis using my specific code, I receive a portion of the sale. But look, I wouldn't recommend this service if I didn't believe in it and if it didn't change my life for the better, which it very much so has. Side story, almost every member in my family that would buy me a piece of clothing has a copy of my color palette so that they can buy me clothes for my birthday or for Christmas, and they know exactly which colors to get. Because of Lindsey's service, my whole family has rallied behind me to help me feel like the best version of me, and that is a pretty darn cool thing. The other genius part is that her previous customers are doing her marketing for her, so she's found yet another way to continue to convert previous one-time clients into recurring revenue. The final thing I want to point out about Lindsey's business is going to be specifically poignant for those of you who have shiny object syndrome. And no shame there, that is definitely me. Shiny object syndrome is when we have a new idea and want to execute it immediately and often at all costs, which is very chaotic in the entrepreneurial world. But Lindsey is different, and I'll tell you why. Lindsey's been in business since I think 2020. I think I found that on her About page on her website. Sorry, Lindsey messaged me at Ali Ray Haney on Instagram and DM me if I am incorrect. But since then, she's hired around 30 people, and Created Colorful has done over 20,000 consultations. 20,000 consultations in 4 years. And I know that because she updates her Instagram bio every so often with the number of consultations they've completed. And side note, that is an amazing way to provide social proof so that people know that you are the real deal. But guess what? She was at 15,000 consultations before she ever launched a second offer. Her core offer was virtual color analysis for 3 years, maybe over 3 years before she introduced that second offer. And that second offer is a course titled Love Your Closet. It's all about how to make shopping less intimidating, which she's already been doing, right? By doing all of the Amazon storefronts and the Pinterest guides and the seasonal blog posts. But now she's giving a more tailored, individualized way to make shopping less intimidating, which again, targets her ideal clients' needs to make their lives easier. All this to say, she has perfected the service offering of virtual color analysis before branching out into other offerings like her online course. I could definitely learn from her for this one, and you should too. Okay, now let's talk about some of these strategies and how you can take them from a fellow small business owner and apply them to your brand and your business. First, I want you to know your ideal client in and out, not just where they shop or what their hobbies are. Those things are important to know, but I also want you to know the motivations behind what they need. Know the symptoms of their problem. Know how to solve their problem. Oftentimes people will say, I sell XYZ, fill in the blank. But that's too focused on the product or service that you're selling. You actually sell something more. You sell comfort. You sell hope. You sell confidence. You sell a solution to a problem. 2, I want you to figure out the next step for your clients as a service provider. If you're a service provider and don't know what the next easy yes is after they have completed the service that you offer, then we need to figure that out. What's going to be those next thoughts or actions after they complete the service offering process? And now I want you to figure out how you can be there for that next step. Bonus points if you can be there in a passive way, like an Amazon storefront that Lindsey hosts. The third thing that you can take and apply to your small business is I want you to perfect the one cornerstone offering that you have before moving on to other revenue streams. Yes, again, I'm talking to myself on this one. I want you to make sure that the messaging is clear and that the service offering is working like a well-oiled machine before launching a course or another product or another service offering. Okay, if you are interested in having your virtual color analysis done, because I've just hyped it up this entire episode, I would love for you to go to createdcolorful.com/virtual color analysis. And when you check out, you can use the code ALIRAE, ALIRAE, for $15 off your virtual color analysis. I would love for you to pour into Lindsey's mission, Lindsey's business. And if you are a service provider, I hope you took some inspiration away from Lindsey and from her business to then grow your own. Thanks so much for tuning into another episode of the Allie Ray Haney Show. That's all I got for today. So signing off until next week. But until then, keep dreaming, keep creating, and remember, your brand is your story. Let's tell it together. As my son would say, did it! You just completed another episode of the Allie Ray Haney Show. If you found this helpful, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find this show and so you never miss an episode. Take a look at the show notes for all the resources mentioned in today's episode. Let's continue the conversation over in my private Facebook group, the Allie Ray Haney Show Insiders. See you next Wednesday, and as always, I'm here cheering you on as you build your dream brand and business.